So for today's stream, not introduction, we're going to do witches versus vampires. Why? Because if I was in a position to choose between a witch and a vampire, it all depended on what kind of vampire. Like, are we talking about like the traditional vampire, the Twilight vampire, the Limbus Company, Blood Fiends? Because if we're talking about certain vampires, I would prefer the vampire over the witch. Because with the witch, one, you gotta like study millions of spells. Let's be real here. If you want to be a master witch, you gotta study millions of spells, know how to make potions, know how to curse things. Like that's a lot of work right there. And that's only 3 things you gotta learn how to do. And then you gotta choose what kind of witch do you want to be. You want to be an herbologist witch? You want to be a potion witch? You want to be a fire witch? You want to be a fortune telling witch? I don't know. There's a lot of options for a witch. Also, it's hibiscus and rosehip tea. If you're wondering what that is. And then, like, with the witch, you gotta, like, make your own broom. You gotta get your own supplies. Whereas, like, if you're a vampire, you're just a vampire. There's no studying involved of being a vampire. You just are what you are. Like, you don't need to study, you don't need any materials, you just exist. But let's go over the 3 different vampires real quick. Okay. So the Twilight vampires. I think they're the best ones, and I'm gonna explain why. I hate the Twilight series. I was dragged through all of the Twilight series by my older sibling. I was forced to watch the whole... It's not a trilogy, because technically it's like, I think 4, right? Four Twilight movies? Correct me if I'm wrong. All I remember from Twilight vampires is they got super strength, they got super speed, they don't die in the sun. That's very key. Like, this is very appealing. They just sparkle. And listen. If someone's questioning why am I sparkling in the sun, I can say, well, I got some glitter spray. And they can't really fault me for that. And then they ask, oh, what brand of glitter spray do you use? And then I just, like, say, like, a very good brand that's, like, $100 for the freaking spray bottle. So there you go. Okay. There's no... You're not allergic to garlic. You know, like, the garlic won't kill you, the sun won't kill you. You just sparkle. You can just exist. It's great. Telepathy. And you get, like, a special ability with the super strength and speed per vampire. You know, like, that's pretty cool. I could get telepathy. Subjective cognition. How you say that word? Precognition, I'm sorry. Subjective precognition. Where it's like you get future sight, you know, pretty cool. Pathokinesis. And manipulate people's emotions, but pretty cool. Mental shield, probably the worst of them all, because my mental fortitude is, like, stupid high. Low-key, my mental fortitude is so high, I could probably survive the city of Limbus Company. Lobotomy Corporation. Because that's how, like, insane and mentally stable I am. Shut up, YouTube. Okay. Tactical projection is shield penetration? What does that mean? Okay. Breakthrough mental shield. Tactical telepathy. How's it different from regular telepathy? Every thought someone has ever had upon physical contact. Very useful. Very, very useful. Happiness induction? That's kind of stupid. No offense. That's kind of stupid. Can sense relationships between, also kind of stupid. Sensory deprivation. I feel like normal people have that. Like mine isn't like super bad, but I have like if someone stabbed me in the arm, I would feel it, but like I would still fight them. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, it'll sting a little bit, but like I can still like do my job. It's a little bit blood. It's fine. Oh wait, no, you create mist with someone, paralyzes them to cut off all of or some of their senses. Oh, different kind of sensory deprivation. Okay, that's actually pretty useful. Relationship manipulation, also kind of stupid. Why are half of these stupid? What's going on with the writer of Twilight? What's happening here? Oh, she just okay. Physical attraction. Boa Hancock, I guess. Okay, pain illusion. Okay, I can respect pain illusion. Visual projection, also can respect that. Electrokinesis, can respect. Elemental manipulation, lie detection, Outcome manipulation, that's just like Victini's ability. It's like some of them are good, others are kind of like trash. Like mental shield, that's kind of trash. Hot take. Ability identification, also kind of trash. Like, you know, electrokinesis will definitely, like, yeah, you could say, oh, this person has electrokinesis. What are you gonna do about that? Absolutely nothing. If you can, like, tell people's abilities, I'm like, useless. You know, like in battle. Yeah, but if I was a Twilight vampire, we're good. I'm good. I would rather be a vampire than a witch. I don't die in the sun. Garlic doesn't affect me. I still got super strength and speed. I just sparkle in the sunlight. I get a special ability. Hopefully, when I roll for my ability, the RNG gods would give me something good like electrokinesis or like telepathy or something. Okay, let's see. Traditional vampire. Let's see what full Wikipedia, or I'm sorry, AI overview Google says about traditional vampires. Okay. Immortal. Die from natural sickness? So does that mean, like... Interesting. It's gonna say something, but I think I answered my own question in my head. Okay, super strength, immortality, speed, rapid regeneration, heightened senses, okay. Shape-shifting into a bat, that's pretty cool. I don't know about fog or mist, so I don't want people breathing me in, that's weird. Command over animals, okay. But are these, like, lottery kind of powers, or, like, all vampires have these powers? Is, like, the other question. Certain regional folklore accounts note the ability to summon storms, thunder, or heavy fog. Well, I guess this is with everyone. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna disregard this because it's only with certain folklore, but these two... Okay. Nice. Hypnosis, okay. Sleep paralysis, okay, cool. Okay. The only downside is sunlight, you're dead. Garlic, you're dead. Stake to the heart, you're dead. But other than that, I should be fine. Just find a night shift job. Night shift job. And let me tell you something, okay? With both, like, any sort of vampire, you can get away with not hurting human beings if you I think do traditional vampires eat like deer and stuff like as substitute? I don't know, but I know the Twilight ones, they can go get a deer, which that will satisfy the hunger, the blood hunger. Or option two is you go to the blood bank and ask, hey, I have a medical condition and my doctor wrote me a script. Can I have 2 bags of blood a month? And they won't question it. Well, I mean, I guess they might question, like, you want that transfused, and if you say, nah, I'm just gonna take it home and drink it, maybe they'll question you to say it like that. But if you say, oh, no, I can just do it myself at the house, I have a caretaker in quotations, they're not gonna question you. They don't get paid enough to question you. Let's be real here. But yeah, that's how I'll survive as a vampire. You know, either go out in the woods, plenty of deer where I live, surprisingly, even though I live in the DMV area, plenty of deer to go hunt. Go to the blood bank, have a little prescription from a doctor saying, hey, I need my 2 bags of blood a month. I have a caretaker at home that can do transfusion for me. Don't worry about it. No one will question you. Okay, let's go with Blood Fiends. Because I know the ones in Limbus Company, Lobotomy Poor, Library Ruin are a little bit different. They're like vampires. Because they also need blood. And, Don Quixote, the elder, not Don Quixote, the one that's in the Limbus Company, but the one that's like the elder blood fiend. I'm sorry, I keep saying vampire. Invented like these hemoglobin blocks. That's to satisfy me. I know it didn't satisfy his people, but that's because they don't have the mental fortitude. And I have the mental fortitude. Let's be real here. They are directly inspired by vampires and modern literature, and much of their existence revolves around blood. Delicious. Okay, let's read the. Oh my god, that's a giant overview. They also have a hierarchy system, so like if you're the original vampire, blood fiend, you have like the most powers. To become a blood fiend means to be infected with an illness afflicted with enormous thirst and that can only be satiated by feeding on fresh flowing blood. They are immortal, immune to aging as long as they are provided with enough blood. That's fine. Together with others of blood fiends are also afflicted with the instinct to propagate their family by creating further blood fiends. Not me though, I'm good. If I was a blood fiend, I'd be like, I'm done. I don't want anymore. I like being myself. Blood fiends are known to originate in 3 different ways. Turn kindred by a higher blood fiend. Distortion phenomena, or by receiving blood in a certain mansion. I mean, that's me, man. I'm just gonna walk up to a random mansion in the city, just be like, hey, can I have some blood? And they're just gonna give it to me. No questions asked. Those who are turned by the original blood fiend are called the first kindred. It's a first kindred in each district of the city. So there's like 26 then. Okay. Each of which has formed their own family made up of their children and descendants separate from the others. Serves as the elder of the family, with the other kindreds of the same family are compelled to obey. As it should. You see, if I was like a first kindred or a second kindred in the Limbus Company vampire hierarchy, I would be set. I would be a vampire. I wouldn't even consider being a witch. I would just be a vampire. But if I'm like in the lower part of the hierarchy, it's over because I'm gonna get manipulated. I'm gonna be sad. However, blood fiends who defy the expected lifestyle version and occasion, such as Blood Red Knight, whose excessive in attention drawing actions eventually led her to become a starving snake. True, I could just rebel, just like she did. God, what was her name to start with an E? I think it was Eleanor. I think. I know it starts with an E. I thought that was a commercial. Following the White Knight and Dark Days, goddammit, Angela. It became common for people to turn to blood fiends upon distorting as a stereotyped form of distortion. Lack any knowledge of their prior group's rules and don't know how to control their powers. Also, like, they don't die in the sun, do they? If they don't die in the sun, then I should be fine doing, like, I should be fine doing this. Here we go, abilities. What was the abilities? Depending on their access of blood, by drinking blood, their physical abilities are sharply enhanced, and by limiting their access to blood, their abilities are tanked. Blood fiends have a large degree of control over both their own and human blood, with the ability to shape it into weapons, armor, or even architecture through crystallization. That's pretty cool. Blood manipulation techniques. Okay. Draw blood directly to themselves from their blood bags and kindred. Cool. Different families of blood fiend focus on different aspects of manipulation, like blood manipulation. Focus mostly on blood crystallization, the uses of hard blood to create weapons. Other powers mentioned to belong to different families include the ability to create increase in size and sprout additional appendages by drinking large quantities of blood. Oh, it's Elena. I knew I was close. Eleanor and Elena are almost the same name. I knew it started with an E though. Or expertise in manipulating victim through their blood vessels. Feel it. Oh my god, what add-on here is doing that? Shush. Let me read. Man, I hate this day and age. I can't even read anymore without there being a problem. Sancho, that's what Don Quixote's real name is. Yeah. Yeah, let me be a second or a first kindred. Then I'll do the city one. Well, it's good to see you, Vex. I just noticed you there. I know, I guess we have a time difference. It's only 6 o'clock where I am. I know it's midnight where you are. It's a bit of a time gap. It's okay. I was just talking about whether I want to be a vampire or a witch, depending on, like, what kind of vampire we're talking about. Like, if I'm a Twilight or a traditional vampire, I'd rather be a vampire. If I'm like a Limbus Company blood fiend, but I'm the first with psychic kindred, I'd rather be that than a witch. But if I'm like a lower kindred, I'd rather be witch. Witch is like, there's so much you gotta do for a witch. You gotta study magic, you gotta learn like millions of spells, you gotta decide what kind of witch I want to be, you gotta learn how to make potions, okay? It's too much. They're too much. And then you probably have to learn like a separate language on top of that, like a glyph language or something. Like it's a lot happening if you're a witch. You know, you gotta learn how to hex people, you gotta learn how to curse people. It's, you know, you gotta learn about herbs and stuff. Like, it's a lot. A lot. Being a witch is a lot. And I'm lazy. Like, that's the real thing. Like, if I wasn't lazy, yeah, I would be a witch, but I'm lazy. I know witches are technically immortal like vampires, but vampires doesn't require any homework or studying. You're just a vampire.